Hey everybody, I'm Rockin' Robin, and today's episode I'm going to show you how to make a sort of healthy chocolate cake slash torte with Kahlua whipped cream topping. Now, this recipe has no flour in it, and I have what makes it healthy is this other ingredient that we're going to be using, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later on. But this is a delicious cake. It goes great with vanilla ice cream. I've even made hot fudge and served it with that, and certainly with the Kahlua whipped cream topping. Now, if you don't want to use Kahlua, let's say you're serving this with kids, you might want to use just regular vanilla extract for that instead. So don't go away. I'll be right back to show you how to do it and tell you what my secret ingredient is. So let's get started, and we'll go over the ingredients, and we'll start with the one that we're substituting the flour for, and that is garbanzo beans. So what we're going to do with the garbanzo beans is, I don't know if you know this, but each garbanzo bean has a skin around it, and I remove the skin. I know that seems like a lot, but we're going to do that. It takes about 15 minutes. So what you do basically is you squeeze the top of the garbanzo bean, and you can see the skin pops right off. And that skin will kind of make your texture a little bit more grainy. So if you take it off, you get a nice smoother cake. We're also going to need some semi-sweet chocolate chips, some eggs, butter, sugar, baking powder, and some vanilla extract. Now for our Kahlua whipped cream topping, we're going to need some heavy whipping cream. Here's some Kahlua and some sugar, and that's it. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm just about done with my garbanzo beans, and I just kind of wanted to show you how I've kind of figured out a way to do it a little quicker. It's like I can put one in each hand, and you just gently squeeze them, and they shoot into the bowl. Now, we're ready to put our garbanzo beans into our food processor. So I'm going to pour these in, and we'll add our eggs. I've got 4 eggs here, and we'll pour those in, and we're going to blend. Now once we get this nice and smooth, as you can see here, it's nice and smooth, we'll add our baking powder and the sugar. And we'll mix this until it's smooth. Our next step is to melt our chocolate with the butter. So I've got the double boiler here that I have on kind of low heat, and I'm going to pour my chocolate chips in the double boiler along with the butter, and we're going to heat this slowly. You don't want to heat this really over high heat or too much steam, so we'll keep the temperature low, and I'll stir that to melt the chocolate. Alright, so we're going to melt this down, and once this gets real smooth, I'll let it cool for just a second, and then we're going to add this to our garbanzo beans and egg mixture in the food processor. Alright, so our chocolate is melted, and now I'm going to add it back to the food processor. So we're going to just drop this in. Looks like frosting. Look at that. Oh, it looks luscious. And then I'm going to pour in the vanilla extract, which is right here, and we're going to blend. Now what I'm going to do is scrape down the edges a little bit here, because you can see that the garbanzo mixture hasn't mixed in all the way. So go ahead and pulse until everything's mixed. Okay, so now I have a 9-inch pan here that I've sprayed with Pam, so make sure you do that, otherwise this is really going to stick. Alright, so now all we do is pour in our mixture. Give your cake pan just a little tap or two. Remove some of those bubbles, and we're going to pop it in the oven at, like I said, 350 degrees for about 40 minutes, and then we'll test it with a toothpick. If it comes out clean, it's done. So I pulled the cake out of the oven after 40 minutes and tested it with the toothpick, and it was done. And now it's been sitting here cooling for about 10 minutes. And now is the time, after 10 minutes, is to pour it out or turn it over onto a rack so that it can cool completely. I'm going to take a knife and just run it around the edge just to release it if it's sticking. It looks like it's pretty much pulled away, but this will help it. Now take your rack, place it on top. Now this is still a little bit hot, but not too bad. I think I can handle it. And then just flip it over. And I felt it drop down. So let's see how it looks. There you go. Now a little bit did stick and came off here, and that happens, but it'll be fine. Now we're going to let this cool completely before we serve it up with the Kahlua whipping cream. Okay, so the cake is pretty cool now. I'm going to go ahead and place it. I like to put it on a cake plate because it has a nice dome that keeps it nice and moist. So we'll place this on here. And now we're going to go ahead and whip up our Kahlua cream. All right, to make our Kahlua cream, I went ahead and chilled my bowl this time. I'm pouring in my cream just as an experiment, okay? And I'll pour in the Kahlua. It's about a tablespoon. And I'm going to go ahead and mix it a little bit. I'm doing this by hand. You can use a hand mixer if you like, or a KitchenAid. Now you can see that the cream is getting a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding the sugar. And you can add as much of this as you like. I usually go 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. Anyway, we're almost there. It starts to get thick really quick. Okay, so this looks really good here. Holds a nice peak. And it even stores up pretty nicely in the refrigerator. And if it does, you know, overnight, let's say it starts to get a little thin or runny on you, just take your whisk and beat it up again just a little bit and it'll thicken right up. Okay, so I think we're good with that. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut me a piece here. Spoon. And we'll cut into our cake. And we can top it off with some Kahlua cream, which is delicious. Pretty simple to make, right? Not too tough. Oh, that is so good. And you know what? You will not be able to tell that there are garbanzo beans in this recipe. I mean, I've made it for my family and nobody knew. Nobody could tell. Delicious, rich chocolate, and the Kahlua cream is a nice complement with it. So I hope you guys will give this a try. Thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I come out with new videos every week. And if you like this video, please share it with others on Facebook and other social media. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. So today, Michelle is going to be showing us how to make a recipe that she likes to make a lot for Christmas, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And that is called?
Butterscotch bars.
All right, so that's what we're going to do. Stay right there. We'll be right back in just a minute to show you how to do it.